Well, the last 2 months of American politics has truly been crazy. We had Biden's horrific debate performance, which I covered on my channel here. After the debate, Democrats were in disarray and were doing all they could to rid themselves of Joe Biden. Then, Trump gets shot in the ear. We have the RNC, which is emotional, followed by Harris replacing Biden, and now, just a few days ago, RFK Jr. has dropped out of the presidential race and endorsed President Trump. This has been one of the most hectic 2 months in political history, and I have a feeling the chaos might continue. However, in this video I want to dissect the Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris matchup. At a later point, I will make predictions, but for now, let's jump into some of the topics. First, we have the vice presidents. Now, I don't think VPs make a huge difference at all typically. I thought the Vance pick was a fair pick. Harris's choice of Walz, though, was terrible, especially when she had the Pennsylvania governor right there for the picking. Harris has a habit of losing staff and making bad leadership decisions, and her VP pick is no different. It'll be interesting to see how Vance goes after Walz's military history or lack thereof combat involvement. Another topic I'll touch on is the Democrats' miscalculated attack on Vance and calling Trump and Vance, quote, weird. Vance's cat comments were the truth. We have all met someone overly obsessed with their cats. They are usually hoarders, they're not very social. The sensitivity or perceived sensitivity to calling this out is ridiculous. And this is coming from me. I'm a proud dog dad who's probably a little too involved with his dog, so I feel like I can be a little objective here. Anyways, the media is all over the place when it comes to calling things weird. The media loves Walz and other far-left preachers. They love this guy, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. Many on the right love J.D. Vance. I was admittedly a little indifferent to the pick, but I am warming up to it more with time. I don't like how Vance characterized Trump in the past, but that has been forgiven, and I think Vance is ultimately a home run pick compared to Harris's pick of Walz. Then we have the debates. In my last video, I spoke about how debates mattered more than ever. I was proven right, as Biden's debate debacle led to his political ending. Trump played the debate nearly perfectly against Biden. He let Biden dig his own grave, no pun intended. With Biden out of the picture, Trump now has to debate Kamala, and they have 3 debates currently on the schedule. Word is that behind the scenes, Tulsi Gabbard is helping Trump prep for the upcoming debates. I think this is great for debate prep. However, I have 3 suggestions for Donald Trump. Stay humble, be positive, and be calculated. In terms of humble, this means that Trump must be more like the Trump at the RNC and less like the Trump that turns some voters away. Don't get me wrong, we all want Trump to be himself, but when he shows humility and relatability, it makes him unstoppable electorally. Then with being positive, let's talk about that topic. Trump needs to mention his successes during his 4 years and how he will fix things and unite the country. He did this really well at the RNC, and he does it typically very well in his press conferences and at his events. And then Trump needs to show good judgment and be calculated. Trump cannot go overboard when going after Harris and attacking her. Harris does tend to overuse identity politics to manipulate voters. We all know that. The average voter isn't dumb. But I do not want to see a debate moment where Trump says Kamala is not black or questions her race in a manner that is off-putting. He simply needs to say, quote, Kamala will say anything and will portray herself in any way to mislead you and earn your vote. She is fake, I am real, and I will fight for you. End of quote. If Trump keeps it that simple, he wins the debate. And then I want to talk about one last topic in regards to the Trump versus Kamala matchup, and that is policy. Trump has been really great lately when talking about his policies. Trump advocated recently for a 0% tax on tips and Social Security. This is a brilliant move. In fact, it is so brilliant that Harris is trying to steal it. Now that Trump has RFK Jr. on board, he is even pivoting more, talking about policies that relate to the environment, better food, and making America healthy again. Harris will continue to scream about Project 2025, which most of us don't even know what it means, and Trump has fully denounced it and even published his own platform on his website. Harris will also try to scream about the abortion issue, but the reality is that Trump is more moderate on abortion. In fact, he's more moderate than most of us baby-loving conservatives would like. So Kamala's two issues are nothing burgers, and she's just using them to fearmonger. I don't think it will work with the average voter that's in the middle. If I was Trump, I'd keep introducing more policies. Earlier this year, Trump talked about the issue of housing and proposed the idea of freedom cities. And from my understanding of the proposal, the idea would be to create new cities on federal land where young people would have access to jobs and affordable single-family housing. It's really a great idea. He described it, when Trump described it, he described it as kind of like his new frontier. The immigration issue is red meat to conservative voters, we all know, but Trump has already won that issue, and he'll continue to win it. He can keep hammering it home as he should, but he must focus on other issues as well. Trump must talk about the budget and our debt. The writing is on the wall. Our country's interest payments are quickly swallowing up more and more of the federal budget, and this relates directly to the economy, our overwillingness to print money, and the current inflation. It appears the Fed may lower rates multiple times before the end of the year and even maybe a few times before the election. This could give voters some false hope about Harris. So Trump must be ready to talk about how his economy was better. Trump wins this election if the average voter prefers Trump's 4 years to the previous 4 years under Biden and Kamala Harris. After the DNC, the RFK endorsement, Trump is getting more of the momentum back, but we will have to see how things develop. Well, that's the end of the discussion for now. Please like, subscribe, and share this video as it helps the channel grow. Your support is greatly appreciated. Have a good one.